Why is Sony playing TV? Yeah, what the fuck?
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight we will be witnessing the game of games. Locke versus Sone in a TVZ matchup. And joining me for this cast is Orc. Hello.
Hey, how's it going, buddy?
Alright, it is going well as we are playing on Belshire Vestige. Orc, what is your favorite thing about this map?
Well, as a Terran player, I don't know, it's pretty easy to take your side of the map, let alone 3 bases. But in this TVZ matchup, there's a lot of ramps and, corners that Terran can siege up on or put Widow Mines in, but, the Zerg has a lot of ways to flank you, is the disadvantage if you're playing Terran.
I see. So lots of ramps and upper ground, but lots of time for the Zerg to just move around and swarm you.
Yep.
Alright. Spawning in the upper left hand corner, we have the pink Zerg Sone.
And spawning in the right-hand corner, bottom right-hand corner, we have the yellow Terran Locke.
Alright, both players will be making SCVs and drones. Orc, how do you think this game will turn out?
I think Locke is a silver player and Sone's platinum, so unless Locke does a very, how should I put it, a very refined strat that he's practiced tons and tons of times, I don't think Locke can win this one.
Alright, very.
But who knows? I could be wrong.
Orc, what do you think is the biggest difference between a silver player and a platinum player?
Macro. That's my one-word answer.
One-word answer indeed. So you're saying that pretty much lower league players need to learn how to make units or build more production buildings, or
GMs.
What is macro?
Grandmasters are really the only one who, depending on if they're Korean or not, know how to macro the correct way. But basically, even masters don't know how to macro. Like, really, the only time you need to start worrying about micro at all, for the most part, is once you hit diamond. Then it's still more macro than micro, but you have to play smart, obviously.
So let's say that two silver players were facing each other. Basically, whoever spends all their money wins, per se.
Yeah, who builds more structures, takes more bases, spends their resources, wins easily, hands down.
Hands down, says Org. Alright, looking at the Terran play here, we actually see that he has stopped making SCVs. Orc, can you give me a rationale for this?
He just forgot to make one, but now he has one queued up. He has a Reaper though right here, and it's gonna fend off these lings. He should repair, send 1 or 2 SCVs to repair these depots though, just in case.
Looks like SCVs will be coming in for the repair. Was this a good play by the Terran player?
Yeah, I mean, he didn't lose anything. He's pulling way too many SCVs at the moment and needs to, multitask a little bit better. But he should have that Reaper go out and scout the Zerg base and see what's going on. That was a lot of lings early out of the Zerg though, that's for sure.
Lots of lings indeed, as he will be setting back his economy by 3 drones. Looking back at the Zerg player, we do see that he is tossing down a hatchery. Orc, was this a fast hatch?
No, I think it was rather late, to be honest. Yeah, 5 minutes in. I was paying attention to the Terran base, but it looked, yeah, he obviously went pool first, so it wasn't terribly late, but it was still late nonetheless.
Alright. Looking back at the Terran player, we do see that he is tossing down a factory and starport while building up a second barracks. Orc, what are your predictions as far as unit composition goes for this Terran player?
Well, I had no idea, but now he's building an armory, so that automatically means he's going to go Hellbat drops. He's going to put a reactor on, which he just did, and then get a medevac and drop 2 Hellbats at a single time at random places around the map. And then just have Marines to defend while he expos, I guess, even though he hasn't dropped his expo yet. This is kind of like a one base all in, but not really. Like, you can still expand behind it.
Very tactical decision by the Terran player. Now it looks like the Zerg player is getting a 3rd expansion. What do you think of this, Orc?
It's a good move. I mean, he has both of the Xel'Nagas. He had an Overlord at the Terran's natural, so he knew he wasn't going to be expanding, or he knew it hadn't expanded yet. So it's a very good move. I mean, if I was a Zerg right now, I'd just be droning really, really hard.
Droning hard he is. And it looks like Imp has notified them or us that there is no Baneling Nest. Orc, do you think this is a bad decision?
No, not necessarily. I mean, because, put it this way, for every drone, for every Ling and Baneling that you make, that's less drones that you have. And with the spawning of larvae with the usage of queens, you can only have so many drones or Lings at one time. And then Banelings obviously cost more.
So basically, the Zerg is opting not to, quote-unquote, waste a drone on Baneling.
With Banelings, I mean, unless you're Life, like arguably a top 3, well, arguably probably the best Zerg in the world, if not top 3, it's really hard to recover from, if a Baneling bust fails and you're the Zerg. But, and with Sone being platinum level, I think it would be rather hard for him to recover. It's even hard for me. So, yeah.
I see. Very interesting points brought on by Orc. It does seem that saturation has taken place, although not quite optimal saturation. Orc, do you think this is normal for the Zerg player to not have full saturation on bases at this point?
Oh yeah, because you don't want to die to something stupid. Like, he has a few Lings already built. He has speed done, because we can tell by the stupid skin that Blizzard leaves in the game. That's fucking really annoying. But he's doing pretty well on 3 bases, especially for his league and his level, as stupid as that is, and as a lot of people say, stuff like that. Oh, he's playing decent for his league. But yeah, he's doing pretty well. I would like to see more out of the Terran. He should definitely have an expo by now. He hasn't even started building one. Like I said, he probably just does this build most of the time. He's getting supply blocked a lot, but you can only do so much while you're learning.
Correct. It does look like a medevac will be heading across the map. Or where do you think this will drop?
Main. The main.
With the classic one-word answer by Orc, as he states, main.
Main.
Main, US.
Oh.
And it looks like the medevac has stopped here. Orc, why do you think this medevac is parked outside?
I don't think he has the control, to be honest. Like, he's just now taking his Vexpo. Like, the Zerg could be on 4 base right now if he wanted to be. At this point, it's clearly just, one player's macro is better than the other. Not necessarily decision making, because Hellbat dropping is good in every single matchup.
Looks like the Hellbats will be roasting and toasting some Zerglings.
Right now, you want to see the Terran, his objective is to get the Hellbats in the mineral line, like so, have one in between the minerals. That's a really good spot, and he's going to kill a lot of Lings if he leaves his Hellbats down.
Very good control by the Terran player here, as we see him popping them back into the dropship when they're being surrounded.
Yeah, I mean, even no matter how much damage that yellow does, like, he needs to be macroing more, like, to, have an army to throw at him again after he's done with these drops and this harassment.
That is some insane damage by that one Hellbat.
Yep. He actually doesn't even need to pick them up. If he put 2 right in the gap of a mineral line, he'd take a lot of damage and he'd maybe lose 1 Hellbat, but he'd kill like 50 lings. I actually won a game the other day just by doing that. That's pretty OP.
Speaking from personal experience, I see.
Yep.
Looks like the Zerg player will be getting this round. Oh, with the pickup. Looking back at the Terran player, we do see that more Hellbats are coming out, rallying through to the front of the base. Or do you think this is a good idea to have your forces up in here?
The Terran's forces up in the Zerg base?
No. The Terran player rallying his forces to the front of his base.
Oh yeah, it's good, but every single Terran, it doesn't matter what race or like what kind of map you're on, should be walling off with supply depots or at least some kind of buildings for your natural and your third too. And then after that, it's not that it doesn't matter, but it's not, you know, as essential.
Absolutely. Walling off with supply depots is very key, as it allows the Terran player to effectively force fights at choke points. Back to the Zerg player, we do see some spores, some spines, some hatcheries. Looks like almost complete domination of the expansions on this map. Orc, what do you think about that?
Well, it's what the Zerg should be doing. I mean, he's 2 leagues ahead of the Terran, and the Terran actually kind of knows what he's doing for the most part with his play, but he needs to just macro more. Like, he's spending all of his resources, but like off of 2 base getting 3 upgrades at once, like it's just not worth it. 4 upgrades at once, actually. He's getting the stim, the +1 attack, or no, +2 attack, +1 armor, and then the +1 ground. Like, he should be doing all this for the most part on 3 bases.
So what you're saying is that even though he is spending his minerals, he is not macroing properly?
Yeah, pretty much. And this attack should get crushed, because right now Pink should be saying, oh, okay, he's coming to attack me, or he's going to do something that's going to apply pressure to me, so I have to make tons of units, which he's doing now, lots of lings. He should maybe have roaches or mutas at this point, but I mean, with his income, if you look at the income, the Zerg has a good amount based on what his army and what his drone count is.
Looks like the Zerg's income is double that of the Terran player.
But I have to say that Yellow's army is a lot stronger, especially with the +1 on the Hellbats. Or wait, is it not done yet? No, it's not done yet. But he has 1/1 Marines with combat shield and stim, and he only has 1/0 lings. And regardless of that, Hellbats melt lings. So I think the Zerg might actually lose right here. Here we go.
Looks like the engagement is going down. Hellbats will be roasting those Zerglings. Zerglings really stand no chance against those Hellbats and Marines.
Yeah, he could have really used roaches or banelings there. Definitely. But either way, he should have had roaches or mutas, but banelings would have helped a lot there if he could have gotten some connects with the Marines.
Looks like this hatch will be going down. Drones getting melted. I feel really bad right now for those drones.
Yeah, it's not where you want to be, you know, as a Zerg player. You could get some hits. Nope, all the banelings get evaporated.
We do see that the Zerg player did try to morph in some banelings, but those are but they were a little tad too late.
Yeah, I mean, this looks like GG. You know, we even have a drop, a Hellbat drop. This is good multitasking by the Terran at the Zerg's 4th. Yeah, I think it's, yeah, GG. I mean, the Terran isn't macroing at all, but no, he just started, so this game should be over. I think, yeah, he's got 2-1 upgrades now, 2 attack, 1 armor, and he's got 1-0 on his Hellbat, so unless the Zerg can do something amazing, this game's pretty much over.
Absolutely. Or what do you think is more important for Hellbat upgrades, armor or attack?
Well, armor gives any mechanical unit armor, whether it's sky or it's ground. If it's mech, it gets the armor, so that is useful for Widow Mines, or if you just want your stuff not to die as long, I mean die as fast. But if you have, I think if you have like +2 Hellbats, like they melt lings in 1 shot, even if they're 3/3.
Wow, that is a very good tip.
If not 1, definitely 2.
Looks like these banelings and lings will be playing hide and seek against the Terran army over here.
Yeah, there should be one more final engagement, one more fight, and then depending on who wins, this wins the game. It looks like.
The Terran player is reinforcing with 2 medevacs. It actually doesn't seem like the Terran player knows about the expansion. Nope, he does. He's sending in a pair of Hellbats right now to drop in, whilst engaging with his ground force. Orc, who do you think will win?
If the Terran can split up his army and not let too many of his Marines die, he will win, but if the Zerg lands with his Banelings, it could be GG, but I do not think he has Baneling speed, to be honest. I didn't see it before, at least.
Looks like the Banelings will be sitting tight, watching the base get destroyed.
I mean, and if you look at it this way, I mean, the Zerg only has 1 mining base and the Terran is on 2. And with Zerg, you always want to be at least 1 base up if you're versing a Protoss or a Terran. Even a Zerg. I mean, as many bases as you can be up versus your opponent. Yeah.
Looks like the Zerg player actually is 0-2 in upgrades. Or what do you think about 0-2? Is it better than 1-1?
It depends on your situation, but I'd say in this situation, no. I mean, the Zerg is 2-0, which means he does a lot of damage with his Banelings, but he's not using them at this point, and he's just kind of letting Yellow run him over. This is actually a really surprising match because I thought the Zerg would win pretty easily.
Looks like Locke is asking the Zerg player if he is out of bases. The Zerg player is actually just moving around with his drones, looking like he is tossing back his natural hatch up here. With the scan by the Terran player reveals it, he is running his drones out to another base.
Yeah, the next engagement wins the whole match, so I mean, while I like what Pink is doing, he's kind of prolonging it. It'd be a lot different if he had Baneling speed, but we'll see what happens right now.
Looks like Banelings will be running in. Looks like a lot of Baneling damage, and it completely decimates the Terran army.
Okay, but if we look at Banks, though, the Zerg just has 1 base up. I don't know how many drones he has, but he had 300 minerals, and now he's making a round of drones. Meanwhile, the Terran has literally all you could ask for, and then some. And he's macroing, so the Terran still should win this. And he saved all of his medevacs, because there's nothing to kill them.
Looks like the Terran player has a lot of mineral and gas. He just needs to keep up with the production. It actually doesn't look like the Terran player actually has enough buildings to spend all this income.
No, he needs about four times as much as he has right now, for at least.
Looking back at the Zerg player, we do see that he is completely saturating 1 base. 38 out of 24. Look at those drones go.
Yep. Yeah, some of them can't even mine. That's how Gosu is. Yeah, the Terran should be hitting, like right now. Yeah.
Seems like the Terran player is letting the Zerg player back into the game at this point.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, if the Zerg gets rolling again, it could be GG because even though he's throwing out 4 more axes, the Terran is, you know, if you lose your army, it's not good as Terran.
Looking at the Hellbat here, it does look like the Hellbat is light armored. Oric, are Hellbats good or bad versus Banelings?
Very good. And especially if you can fight, even if they have speed, if you can fight Banelings off creep with Hellbats, and you have a few upgrades in the attack area, it's pretty good.
Absolutely. We see a medevac here boosting away, trying to go for that Hellbat drop. Does the Terran know about that base? We'll soon find out.
Additional supply depots required.
Oric says he has to go. We will be saying goodbye to Oric shortly.
Additional supply depots.
Looks like those two Hellbats will be going in. Banelings will be taking them out. Dropship boosting back. Looking at the Terran player, we do see a massive army moving out with dropships in tow. Hellbats are leading the charge. I don't know, it looks pretty rough for the Zerg player right now, even with Banelings. This army is a force to be reckoned with. Terran player is transferring SCVs to his third expansion. Meanwhile, the Zerg player is steadily mining. It actually looks like the Terran player is playing pretty passively right now, seeing as both of his attacks in the past have been crushed by Banelings. Not sure what he's thinking right now, but I'm thinking that he's pretty scared. Spine crawlers will be picking off a few units here. Banelings moving out to the flank. Army moving in, crushing this gnat for the second time. Drones running away. Will this lair go down? It does. Broodlings get melted. Oh, Broodlings actually doing a little bit of damage there. Destroying this infestation pit. Zerg player is morphing Banelings. It actually seems like the Banelings should be able to take out this clumped army right here. Banelings love clumped Terrans. Oh my god, that is hard to watch. Locke indicating that he hates the move command. This is actually shaping up to be a pretty long game, but I am determined to stay till the end. Alright, back to the Terran player. We see he is retreating his dropships, making some units, and producing some more units. These SCVs right here, I think that they've been idle for the past 10 to 15 minutes. Can't actually put a finger on when, but don't think I've seen him working for quite a while now. Looking at the Zerg player, we see that he has rebuilt his hatchery and is mining, rebuilding his gnat. His third is fully saturated. Zerg player is mining off of 2 base, while the Terran player is mining off of 2 base as well. Wow, what a game. Terran player is moving on again with Marine Hellbat Medevac. Now at this point in the game, upgrades could be a lot better, but not a bad showing. Zerg player will be moving in and out. It's very interesting to see the Zerg player play this game, as he kind of uses a hit and run kind of maneuver where he'll actually let his bases die. If Orc was here, I'd ask him about that, but since he's not, I'm not going to. And instead, I will be asking myself. So, Sharp Eyes, what do you think about that strategy? Well, Sharp Eyes, I would probably say that it is very tactical, but at the same time, you really don't want to be sacrificing too many bases, as if you run out, well, you're not going to get any mining done. Looks like the Zerglings, Banelings will be coming in, but they will get crushed by the Hellbats and Marines. And we also note that the Terran player does pick up some units. I'm not sure why, possibly to dodge those Banelings. This little spine crawler will be doing a bit of tickling, but will be getting taken out. Looking at the Zerg player here, we do see some repositioning of spine crawlers. Terran player is moving in. It actually seems that the Zerg player is running out of larvae at this point. has some drones over here. Terran player is sending in a couple Marines and a Hellbat. Things are not looking good for the Zerg, and I would expect to see a GG at any moment. It does seem, however, that he is still mining, but I don't think the larva is sufficient, as he actually does have a bit of an economy, but fortunately for him, he does not have the production. Okay. Over here we actually do see a Ling run by. They're actually hitting this command center while it is being repaired. Epic battle of Zergling versus SCV. And Marines will be coming to clean that up. Zergling's mindlessly trying to kill this command center to no avail. Medevacs are grouping up here. What is happening? Drones are running away. Medevacs are still looking at this hatchery. Marines come in to clean it up. We see that the Zerg player is moving out with some drones to his 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6th base. Hatchery will be going up. Mining will be resuming shortly. I actually don't think that the Zerg is in a position to come back right now, due to just lack of everything, quite frankly. Larva units. I mean, all he really has are drones at this point. Hatchery will be going down. Locke asks, did I win yet? Mowing down this hatchery over here. More reinforcements are on the way. The final base is going to be taken out. Drones are running away. We see a group of Marines running in to take out this hatch. I'm actually really curious about the yellow Terran here. It would be really effective to have groups of Marines planted at every single expansion, but it actually looks like he is opting to move his entire army to one place, then to another, leaving time for the Zerg player to actually regroup and remine. So if I were the Terran player, I'd probably send 1 or 2 Marines to every base to ensure that the Zerg has no mining potential. Which I think is what he is doing right now, as he sends this group and this group over here. Hatchery will be trying to go up. 2 drones just hanging out here, probably best friends. Looks like Terran player will be moving in. Will he see this hatch? Yes, he will, obviously. Zerg player is doing a last desperation move. He will be running in with drones. And the 1 mine kills 1 drone. And will this Widow mine take out? Oh, and there is the game. GG. Alright, that was a very long cast and a very long game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Until next time, this is Sharp Eyes, signing off.